Is this my last ScrawlrBox? Hi everyone. I've been subscribed to ScrawlrBox for I think around 3 years now. ScrawlrBox is an art subscription box from the UK. It's a box of mystery art supplies each month, along with a zine, which is very informative and tells you all the tips and tricks on how to use your supplies, plus a prompt each month to inspire you to create art with the supplies in the box. Now, I've sadly cancelled my subscription. I've been thinking about this for a little while now. I am very conscious of overconsumption, and honestly, I feel like I could buy no new art supplies for 2-3 years and I would be totally fine. I would have enough, probably even longer. I have so many art supplies. I have drawers with art supplies from art subscription boxes that I've used maybe once or twice. Now, a lot of the things that I know that I'm not going to use going forward, I do donate, but I have so many art supplies. I don't need any more. And I got the email just a couple of weeks ago that the subscription renewal was due. And when I looked at the exchange rate, it was going to be 700 Australian dollars for me to renew the subscription for 12 months. And as my washing machine has not been working for almost 2 years now, I decided to buy a new washing machine instead. So if you don't know, I have had a lot of health issues since the last time I got COVID almost 2 years ago. And so the work I've been able to do has been very limited. And I've honestly been job searching for over 12 months now consistently, and it has been very stressful, but I did just get a new job. So I'm really stoked that I found something that's going to keep the lights on and the cats fed and me with a roof over my head. But yeah, I still am very conscious of where I spend my money and where every dollar goes. I had to make the hard decision to cancel the subscription. I don't actually know if this is the last box or if I'm getting one more. I feel like this might be the last one of my subscription, but ScrawlrBox were sending me one complimentary because my artwork was featured in the top 3 last month. So I'm not sure if this is the last one or there's one more coming, or this was the bonus. I have no idea. I guess, oh, here's Echo. Yeah, this might be the last one. There might be one more. I really don't know. I guess we'll wait and see next month. But today we're going to unbox the box. I think it's going to be a bittersweet one because I've loved this art subscription so much. And who knows, I might take up the subscription again in the future. At the moment, I'm taking a break. But I love ScrawlrBox. They've been really great. I think every single box, even the ones with pastels, have been really fun. I love reading the zine every month. The community as well is really supportive and beautiful. And yeah, if you do have the means or you are wanting to try some new supplies, I highly recommend. Yeah, like I said, I've been buying my own subscriptions for the last 3 years and I've not regretted it once. It's just that life's been very challenging, especially this year for me, and I've had to make some tough decisions on where the money goes. So unfortunately, I do not need more art supplies. Like, I really don't. Let's be honest. Like, let's all be honest with ourselves. Overconsumption is cringe. Today we're going to unbox the box. Now, Evie. So we're going to unbox the box, test out all the supplies, talk about them, and make some art. So let's go. All right. Like I said, I don't know if this is the last one. It might be the last one. I guess we'll just wait and see. So let's see what's inside. where Evie gets as excited as me. Ooh. Lyra Aqua Brush Duo. So these are double tip water soluble markers, and it looks like we have a little skin tone set here. 6 colours. Okay, I'll open those up in a sec. We have 2 coloured pencils. Green, grey and maroon. Artist pastel. Pastel pencils again. What? Artist pastel. Green, grey and maroon from Daler-Rowney. All right, I'm in my pastel pencil era. Okay, also have a black fine liner. Also Daler-Rowney in a 0.5. Yeah, nice, like fine, but bold enough to get a nice good outline. We have our little candy. Just some hard-boiled orange and yellow thing. We'll read about that in the zine. Here's our little sticker. Cute. Cute little portrait. Evie, do you want the tissue paper? Alright, here is our cute little art print. Yes, Evie does want the tissue paper. Our featured artist is Claudia. Claudia, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry. I'm not even going to attempt it because I don't want to get it wrong. That is their socials. They are an illustrator and mixed media artist from Italy, but are based in London. This is very, very cute. Love. Oh. Ooh, like this cover. Mixed media, 8 sheets, 160 GSM. Nice matte. Slightly textured surface there. Nice. And here is our zine. Look at this. This looks like fabric. Look at this nice cover. So Scrawler Zine number 118. Let's have a quick flick through. Here's a rundown of our supplies. Our sweet treat is pineapple flavour hard-boiled sweet with a tangy sherbet centre. Yum. A fine liner, our surface, a sticker, QR code for more information on the supplies. Our markers. All right, here's a little sit down with our featured artist, Claudia, and some more of their work. These illustrations are really cute. We also have our tips and tricks, all these different techniques you can use your markers with, different ways to get different effects. Deep dive using the markers. So they look pretty versatile. Looks like we can get a lot of different line weights and depths. Artist advice behind the artwork, the way that they work. Scrawler Gallery box 116. This was the Stuart Semple paints. I loved these. They were a lot of fun. I liked using those and I'm happy to have them in my collection. Here is our top 3. Ooh, I love this. Nice. Congrats everybody. Scrawler Stash, and we have Scrawler Fest April 25. I follow Mel and Carmel on Instagram. They are both super talented. Congrats for getting in the zine. Canvas to couture. Art comes in all forms, from sculpture to canvas to fabric. That's why we have fabric on the cover of this little feature. There was an Alexander McQueen exhibition that came through Melbourne a few years ago now, and it was stunning, like absolute works of art. Gorgeous. So our prompt this month is style statement. So we have a little skin tone set here. And I guess we are to be inspired by fashion. I bought an Alexander McQueen, I bought 2 Alexander McQueen books at that exhibition, so maybe I'll get those out for inspiration and reference. What do you reckon? Oop. So quite a muted, I mean this is like a skin tone set, a muted colour palette. So let's see what we can do with these. We've got like a brush tip on one end and a fine bullet tip on the other. Cool. So we can use these, our pastel pencils and our fine liner. All right, sick. Let's swatch them out and see what we can make. I swatched these markers out in the evening, which was the only time I had to film this, and you can barely see the difference between the light orange and Naples yellow markers, but I'll pop a picture here which shows you the difference a bit better in the that I took in the daylight. They are still very similar shades. These markers are water-based, so they will reactivate if you wet them, or you can scrub them into a palette and use them with a wet brush to get a watercolor effect. I was actually so shocked to get pastel pencils again because I had never used them before and I had such a good time with them in last month's box. So it's nice to have another couple of colors to play with. And here's where I used just a wet brush to reactivate that marker there, just so you can see how sheared out you can get it. As soon as I saw the prompt and the feature about fashion and illustration, I knew I wanted to pay tribute to one of the most creative designers ever, Alexander McQueen. I'm so glad I picked up these books at the exhibition in 2022 because they are such amazing catalogues of his work. The Mind, Mythos, Muse show was so expertly curated, exhibiting his clothing alongside historical garments and costumes, along with paintings that inspired him. He was a true visionary. Alexander McQueen showed us that fashion is art, and that no matter your chosen medium, artists who create from the things that inspire them so deeply that they have to create are so important to the world. And the cool things about artists sharing their work is it inspires a whole lot of other people to create. So keep sharing your art. The lenticular cover of this book is incredible. I hope you don't mind me giving you a little flip through, but these books are so expertly photographed and such a perfect tribute to everything that he created, and they're so stunning, and I'm so lucky to have these books in my collection. And because I was so inspired, I had to do 4 drawings, and honestly, if I had more time, I would have done more. I generally only like to use the supplies in the box, but I did grab a purple Prismacolor Col-Erase pencil to sketch out my drawings before going in with the markers. So I've mentioned a couple of times lately about overconsumption and hauls, and I know it sounds a bit contradictory, as I also in this same video talk about how awesome this art supply subscription box is, and also the world of designer clothing. I guess I've just been thinking a lot about what a weird flex it is to make videos about the amount of stuff you can buy, about how that's really unsustainable, and how, especially in the current economic climate when so many people are struggling, I just don't ever want to make those kinds of videos. Even as I now have finally found a job that I can do physically, with also the flexibility to keep my ongoing medical appointments, I really don't think the value that I can offer is based in any way on what I'm able to purchase. I have a lot of thoughts about all of this, and I may make a specific video about it in the future. I know how well haul videos perform. While I don't watch them myself, I always get recommended them on my homepage, and I do see the numbers. So obviously people like watching them, But I don't know, is this a totally unpopular opinion that I just think they're cringe? I'd truly love to hear your thoughts. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank my wonderful Ko-fi members who have kept me going with their financial support. I'm truly so grateful. And if you're interested in getting 2 zines mailed to you every month, all the details on the memberships will be linked in the description box down below. All right, now let's jump back to talking about Alexander McQueen. I think what always resonated with me with McQueen from the jump was he was also heavily influenced by cinema. And if you've been here for a while now, you know how much film inspires me. Lee created collections inspired by Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, Hitchcock's The Birds, and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which are also some of my favourite movies. And in the music world, McQueen designed David Bowie's Union Jack custom jacket that he wore on the cover of album Earthling, as well as designs for Björk's album cover for Homogenic, which he also directed a music video for the song Alarm Call off that album. And Alexander McQueen also designed the infamous costume that Janet Jackson wore during the 2004 Super Bowl. I want to specifically talk about McQueen's Spring-Summer 1999 collection because it was incredible. Inspired by William Morris, featuring the most stunning embroidered pieces, and it also featured model Amy Mullins, who is a double amputee. She wore a pair of prosthetic legs that were hand carved, and they're so beautiful. The show's finale was maybe one of the most iconic fashion moments ever. Model Shalom Harlow stood in the middle of a room in a plain white dress, which was then spray painted live in yellow and black by 2 robotic arms. It's actually incredibly emotional to watch, and it's one of those moments I'll never forget. And I had to draw that piece here. I also wanted to talk about McQueen's 10th collection from autumn-winter 1997 called It's a Jungle Out There. It was his first solo show after his debut as creative director at Givenchy, which was not received well. The hair and makeup for the show were inspired by the gazelle, and he said this, quote, "The whole show's feeling was about Thompson's gazelle. It is a poor little creature. Their markings are lovely. It has got these dark eyes, but it is the food chain on Africa. As soon as it's born, is dead. I mean, you're lucky if it lasts a few months. And that's how I see human life. In the same way, you know, we can all be discarded quite easily, and nothing depicts honesty more than the way animals are. And I was trying to say also the fragility of a designer's time in the press. You're there, you're gone. It's a jungle out there." Echo agrees. And thank you to the people who commented on my last ScrawlrBox video about sharpening the pastel pencils with a knife. I did it this time and it was so successful. So I will be using this method going forward. And maybe I need to do a full video about Lee Alexander McQueen because I just have so many things to say and I'm running out of time. McQueen's last show was released posthumously just a month after he passed. He had completed 80% of the work, unofficially titled Angels and Demons. Some fashion editors said it was hard to watch because it showed how obsessed he was with the afterlife. Lee took his own life in February 2010 at just 40 years old. His legacy is immense and he achieved so much in his short time on this earth. He left money in his will for his dogs so they could live in luxury for the rest of their lives, as well as bequeathing donations to 4 animal welfare charities. It was actually so great to flip through these books again and revisit my favourite moments from his career. And how awesome that I got to dedicate some art to him with what may be my final ScrawlrBox. Sorry for the cockatoos screeching. Thank you, Alexander McQueen and ScrawlrBox, both for the inspiration. I would love to know which of these 4 illustrations is your favourite. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked this video, and consider subscribing to the channel for more art stuff. While I won't be doing art subscription box unboxings, I make tons of art and I've got a new video out every Wednesday, so I would love it if you would come and hang out. If this is my last ScrawlrBox, what a great one to go out on. I absolutely loved making the art. I was very inspired by the prompt. It was really great to talk about, you know, an influence and an inspiration for me. That's what I love to do on this channel. I'm gonna eat this candy. You going, Evie? All right. That sherbet is so sour. Love it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, ScrawlrBox, for being such an amazing, amazing art subscription box over the last time that we've spent together. It's been years. I have loved every single box. And till next time, have a great day, everyone.